Hello there.
I don't know what we were trying to go for, but I was trying to go for like a freeze frame,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
just you just hello there in the background. It's like,
What's going on?
hello everyone. Welcome back to Me Time, to episode 33, continuing Society versus Supers. Last week we spoke heavily on The Boys and Invincible, made reference to a fair few other movies as well. But this week we're going to sort of like transition from last week's conversation and move into a different sort of subcategory of that.
Yeah.
And I spoke to Elliott before we started recording, and one of the movies I wanted to look into was The Incredibles. Now, a lot of you listening and watching are thinking, wait, Society versus Supers, with the extremity of the conversation last week, why are you talking about a Disney movie? It's a harmless little Disney movie. Okay, listen. Watch The Incredibles. No, like, and you've seen The Incredibles, cool. No, really watch The Incredibles. It's dark. It's for a Disney movie in the heyday. When I went to go watch The Invincibles as a kid, what?
Incredibles? Just like Invincibles.
Did I? Look, okay, so look, cut me some slack. Invincible is also a superhero thing. That's really funny. The Incredibles, when I was, gosh, I don't even remember when it came out. It was definitely in infant school. So, I was young. Watched it in the cinemas, and a lot of it went over my head as a kid. But even then, that just is a testament to how important such media is in nowadays, not afraid to explain and represent the consequences of actions instead of just like, oh, that person's a bit upset. No. In The Incredibles, because of the misdeeds of Mr. Incredible, so many superheroes died. And I'm talking like genocide levels of death, which is bad. It's dark. So hang on a minute. Yeah, I wanted to dive into that because of not only the implications of family that is prevalent in the movie, but the time difference. In that, in the glory days, the movie starts off with Mr. Incredible at his peak physicality and his prime, running around saving the day, and we're seeing it from the angle that he is a very good person. He's a very cool superhero. He's got the gadgets. He's always saves the day. The police look up to him and go, "Yeah, you're the best, Mr. Incredible. You're great." Then he encounters a superfan, Incredible or Buddy, as he's seen. It's just like, I guess he just wants to help him. He idolizes him, and Mr. Incredible doesn't look down on him. He just goes, "You're a kid. You don't have powers, but this isn't for you, and I don't have sidekicks, so go." Um, Later on down the line, he saves someone from jumping off of the building. He hurtles through the building and pushes him through. And for comedic effect at the time, the guy goes, "I think you broke something," and he goes, "I think the doctors will. I think you're like, honestly, worse things can happen. You'll thank me later." Incredible comes back and makes the whole situation go on its head when he encounters a villain, and he turns around and goes, you gotta go. Get out of here, Incredible. It's dangerous." He goes, "Fly home. I work alone." And goes, in that moment in time, we look at it that he is protecting the child.
Yeah.
But then obviously it goes on its head, and it gets really messy. He ends up having a bomb stuck to his heel, and that slips off and it hits the nearby railway. and Mr. Incredible has to jump in and he has to stop the train from derailing. And that's a mega heroic moment. The boy gets taken home to his family, and then he goes on, he gets the girl, he marries Elastigirl, and it's just like we're superheroes. What could happen? Just like um, this is great. This is the top of my life.
I think it's always nice having that juxtaposition of, like, the glory days.
Mm,
I think, well, now what I mean, we're in our 20s, but, we had a conversation before this kinda going, "Oh, we've made our mistakes in our younger days," sort of thing, and it's about the glory days sort of thing, and then we kinda I think it feels like we're going kind of growing up now where we're kind of mulling over certain decisions and going, "Ah, could have done this better, could have done that better," or various other things, and then trying to make
yeah.
better decisions now,
S-
I think.
So looking back on the days of old as glory days is not a bad thing.
No.
I think for me personally, I wouldn't call my childhood the glory days.
Oh, no, I wouldn't.
You would?
I wouldn't.
Oh, you wouldn't.
No.
I was gonna say, I'm not gonna look back and go just like, "Oh, the people we were then." I'd probably say now
Mm.
is my glory days.
Yeah,
Right
that's
now
probably
is my
fair.
glory days.
Mm.
So when I'm 40 years old and I'm looking back, I will go, "Sigh, those were the days," you know? I mean, hopefully I won't be going, "Sigh, those were the days," but, I think circumstances will be a lot more different in when I'm 40 and Elliot's 40. Me time phase 41 or something like that, I don't
We
know.
shall see.
Yeah,
Aim high.
yeah. We'll see. If we can still keep me time going when we're 40
Mm.
until you're 90.
Yeah. Yeah.
You imagine?
Yeah.
Mm. But anyway, sorry, digressing. Let's get back to it. So what then happens with Mr. Incredible is it just cuts to a news broadcast next. The person he saved sued him because he didn't want to be saved. He wanted to take his own life, and Mr. Incredible stopped him. So what does he do? He comes in and he sues him for everything he's got.
It's funny, it was in it as much as it's a cartoon, story, it's not too far from a couple of real life stories I've seen, like, I saw not too long I think it was quite a while back now, but, a woman had I think she'd fainted or something along those lines, basically, she had a medical emergency, and a bloke stepped in to give her CPR and helped her medically, and then she ended up suing him for it because she considered it sexual harassment.
You're kidding.
It's that, oh, and it's that, oh no, like you just like just unlucky. Just
Mm.
even doing the good thing, you can still get just shot down.
It's so tough because then on one hand you can see why Mr. Incredible saved someone. We saw it from his perspective. Someone jumped off the building. We didn't see the full context.
Mm,
He wanted to take his own life. Then, like, if Mr. Incredible wasn't there and he jumped off the building, that would be, I mean, disastrous.
mm,
Obviously, we don't want him to take his own
yeah.
life. Obviously, we don't want countless people watching that. We don't want any of that to happen. So the sheer audacity of that guy turning around and going to like, "I didn't want you to save me."
Mm,
And on top of that, there are so many people in the train that suffer injuries from when Mr. Incredible stopped it, and they all turn around and blame him.
mm,
And they're just like, "Well, you could have done that better. Like now I can't walk again. I'm
yeah.
injured." Just like, well, he can't win.
No.
What? So this is all the fallout of Mr. Incredible just trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And not only that, later on, well, not, I mean, we'll get to the later on in a moment because it's because of that superheroes get outlawed.
Yeah.
They put it's the superhero ban. They're not allowed to be a thing anymore because society just don't trust us. Like you've got limitless power and you are doing all the wrong things here. We're unimpressed with you. It's best to just leave it with the right people, the government and the police force. So they just outlaw all superheroes.
Yeah, I think doing the wrong thing is probably uh not as great a phrasing, but like they're not. He's not saving people how they'd like to be saved. I guess is probably the best way I could describe it.
Well, yeah, they're like, how do you want them to be?
Yeah,
How do you want to be saved then?
yeah,
You know, it's in that moment he made the best of a bad,
yeah.
and I think he broke that guy's arm and he broke his neck, like hurtling him through the. We said that in the last
Mm.
episode. You know, you're hurtling this human for a thing that they shouldn't be hurtled through. Of course, you're going to hurt them. Then Mr. Incredible said, "Well, I saved your life, so on the grand scheme of things, you're welcome."
Yeah.
Maybe you should have worded that a little
Yeah,
better,
bit
Mr.
blunt.
Incredible. You know, because then later on in the movie, you find out the real instability of Buddy. And now it is the way that the child was, he clearly wasn't, he was super fixated with Mr. Incredible, which wasn't healthy.
Wasn't he foster care?
I think so. I'm
Yeah,
not too certain.
because I don't because what was it? The flashbacks we get of him during that is like he's got the old um mystery wall. It was just the most mystery incredible. Yeah, there's like his from what I understand, he's given no direction.
Mm.
So and the only strong figure he's got in front of him is Mr. Incredible.
And then we see the flashback through his eyes when we realize that he is designing these that Mr. Incredible's been tasked to hunt these robots down.
Oh,
Um,
mhm.
what?
I just I felt just saw a connection just as I said it.
What?
Um, a Buddy is almost like the manosphere at the moment.
The what?
Buddy is almost like the manosphere at the moment.
Oh,
Um, in regards to family breakdowns or that type of stuff. No dads in the household. So Mr. Incredible is the equivalent of. I mean, he's not a bad person, but he's equivalent to a um Andrew Tate at the time for Buddy because he's a strong figure that and has no direction. So Buddy's the
I
yeah,
see.
yeah.
The carefulness there, yeah, is Mr. Incredible didn't radicalize Buddy.
No.
Mr. Incredible didn't know who he was to
Mm.
Buddy. So when he tells him, "You're a child, leave. You're gonna get hurt." In Buddy's eyes, because he was so besotted with him, he's like, "Get out of my way. I
Yeah.
don't need you. You're useless and
Mm.
nothing." But that's not how Mr. Incredible meant it at all.
No.
If Mr. Incredible, granted, took the time to sit him down and go like, "Yeah, what's up?" And sit him down and just go like, "You you got to me in that building, which is, I mean, that's ridiculously talented that you found me, and you've got your own jet boots. You say you made those jet boots
Mm.
yourself. It's like, you've got the skills, kid, but you got to understand the dangers of
Mm.
jumping in to the middle of my confrontation there.
Mm.
So like, and he take the time to properly explain what he did was wrong, and then automatically after that say just like, but you can do it in the right way. Let me show you,
Mm.
you know? But then that's not what Mr. Incredible does
No.
because he is just so high and mighty on cloud nine that he thinks that he can do nothing wrong.
Mm.
Evidently, from the train and catching the jumper. And then in the wedding, he's just like, literally, we're superheroes. Literally, we're on top of the world. No one can touch us. We're fine. And then what happens? You know? And then not only does it come crumbling down, um, the boy, Buddy, becomes a supervillain in the future and ends up going on a murder spree of superheroes based on the one reason that he has an absolute vendetta against Mr. Incredible.
Mm.
That's it. He is designed these robots to not destroy all the superheroes. He said that is just um what's the word I'm looking for? Not collateral damage, means to an end.
Mm.
That's it. It's a means to an end. The superheroes are dying,
Mm.
fantastic, but I'm designing this to beat you.
Mm.
And if it can beat you, then the robot is going to be good enough for my plan. And my plan is obviously he's gonna profit on making super tech,
Mm.
and his plan was dark as
Mm.
well. He's just like, and when everyone is super, no one will be
Yeah.
dark. So
Mm.
he like not only did Mr. Incredible break him down, like there was clearly something unstable in Syndrome as a kid. Because if
Mm.
that's what happens when he grows up and he's just like, not only do I hate Mr. Incredible, I hate everyone, I hate everything, and I hate superpowers so much that I will make sure that no one will be super ever again.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Mhm.
What the hell?
I think again it's so important in regards to having a family stable of having a stable having a stable family unit.
Right.
'Cause the thing with blokes, specifically only because I can speak from it, is they do have that underlying aggression, and it needs to be put somewhere. And because Buddy had no direction for it, and because he had no family, his aggressions then multiplied over time.
Hmm.
So he's found one thing to dislike Mr. Incredible, and then because he doesn't like Mr. Incredible, he doesn't like the stuff that he's then associated with, which is society. And then because he doesn't like society, they're going, okay, I want to equalize all of society my way. Um, and that's kind of where aggression kind of needs to be sort of spoken about more in better context.
Because Buddy, in essence, became the glory days Mr. Incredible.
Mm.
Now, Mr. Incredible in the glory days, yes, he was a superhero and trying to do the right thing, but there was still a lot of things that he did was very careless.
Mm.
And his love for Elastigirl, for Helen, that wasn't a reckless thing. He was genuinely in love,
Yeah.
but he was very carefree about it.
Mm.
And he because she knew him and he knew her, they obviously fell for each other. But Buddy perceived that as if I'm, and I see why you're saying the Andrew Tate side of things.
Mm.
If I am a man with power,
Yeah.
people will respect me. Flash forward to that part of the movie where he is interrogating Mr. Incredible. He's just like, you've kept a tracking beacon on you and someone's coming to our island. You're ruining everything. Um, we're under the guise that his family have been destroyed by
Mm.
Syndrome, but obviously they don't. They jump out of the plane, they're absolutely fine. Weird thing to say, but they are because they're superheroes too, guys. They got powers. Um, but then Mr. Incredible, in rage, takes Syndrome's very clear love interest, Mirage,
Mm.
and goes, I mean, you destroy my family, I'll destroy yours. And he goes, that's dark even for you. Go on then. He's like, if you're gonna do it, do it.
Mm.
If you're gonna take a life, take a life. Do it. Show me. I'll be interested. Mr. Incredible obviously won't do that because he's a
Yeah.
good man. So he lets her go, and he goes. Syndrome goads him and just goes, "Yeah, you're weak. You're pathetic. You're nothing,
Mm.
and that makes me better than you." And then the next couple of scenes forward, Syndrome goes up to Mirage and just goes like, "That was cool, wasn't it? We broke Mr. Incredible. Thanks for that." And Mirage goes,
Yeah.
like, you were about to let me die
Mm.
because you wanted to be better than him. And he starts flirting with her, and then she's just like,
Yeah.
fops him off and goes, next time, gamble with your own life.
Yeah.
and storms off. And what happens? He doesn't go, "What did I do? What?" He has a look of rage on his face. He goes, I can't get what I want because I'm a dangerous person.
Yeah.
It lasts all of 5 minutes before he goes on to the next scene and doesn't learn his lesson.
Mm.
And then flash forward even more when he's in the city and he's high and mighty with his plan. He stops a car from getting thrown at a building, but then he goes, "I am all powerful," and the car just flips behind him and creates a massive explosion.
Mm.
Gosh knows if that actually ended up killing anyone, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he's just so high and mighty and careless that he thinks because he is so powerful, people will respect him
Yeah.
and he will get what he wants, so far from the truth.
Mm.
Because then when actual people come along with good intentions, good morals and family and love, and they struggle together, um, they end up being, you know, the people that finally get what they want.
Mm.
Good things happen to good people.
Yeah.
And then, you know, he gets forgotten about.
Yeah.
Like Syndrome doesn't even like no one goes like, where was that guy before in the black and white suit with the zero gravity tech? No one cares.
Mm.
And because he's just I don't know. It feels like you want to jump in, so I'll let you jump in.
Yeah, I mean, I think was it outward aggression possibly? Um, it's seen as unstable.
Mhm.
Um, it's sort of it's the thing with aggression is it's such a refined tool to train, I guess. And when you see someone who is almost sporadic in the way they hold themselves, like Syndrome. Um, he speaks a lot. He's all over the place in regards to how he holds himself. Um, it generally speaking, it's untrustworthy at the start. The thing with Mr. Incredible and what Mr. Incredible has that Syndrome doesn't is that because he's got something to protect, his aggression is a lot more measured because he knows what aggression can do. Um, he probably reflects what aggression can be done to his family, and then what can be done elsewhere, and then exposes that onto society. I think that's where I think that's the difference in the two characters. Um, I should also point out as well, um, when Mr. Incredible is working a normal job, um, the desk job sort of thing, where his diet's gone to crap. Um, he's pale in skin color. I can't remember the words for it. And he has hasn't got any motivation um to always look after his family to a
So
degree.
yeah, I'll jump in.
Mm,
He keeps on trying to do the right thing,
yeah,
and what happens? His boss scowls him for it.
yeah,
He is presented the first time that we see Mr. Incredible after the glory days. Is you're right. He is not in good shape.
mm,
He is not healthy. He's clearly depressed.
mm,
And this old lady comes along and she can't make her next payment.
yeah,
And what he does is he lets her know how to exploit this very clearly not nice system deliberately made for people to
yeah,
struggle so that the company can get more money. He tells her the loophole, and you see his face lighten up,
mm,
and he starts speaking really loudly, and he goes, "I'm sorry, ma'am. I
yeah,
know you're upset."
yeah,
um, and then she goes off crying, but then immediately his boss comes along and goes like, "Why do your clients always get a lot of money and we get nothing?
yeah,
Like you're in a thin thread. You're gonna lose your job." Like
mm.
he's doing the right thing.
Hello, I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you are, remember to like, share, and subscribe. it is interesting that, like,
Mm.
business, uh well, business sharks, I guess, is the best way
Mm.
is the best way to describe them, where there's a mentality that's sort of grown and nurtured over time that becomes sort of so emphatically cold that they only see money, and that's it. And we always train it these days that I don't I disagree. I've had various conversations sort of on it where, like, you try and sell something and you can see someone's come somewhat struggling, and then it's like you sell slightly in regards to this is probably better for you than something else, rather than we'll just pile on the bills and hope you survive, sort of thing.
So jump in. It's that
Mm.
scene where Mr. Incredible snaps against
Mm.
his boss is one of my favorite scenes in the
Oh yeah,
movie
it's so
because he
it's what everyone wants to
yeah.
do.
But well, yeah. If you've got a crappy boss,
Yeah.
and I mean, yeah, I've been very lucky that
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had a crappy boss,
Mm.
but I'm only speaking on experience there. But like, so he sits down and immediately he's just like, let's get this over with. And the boss starts saying, like, um, pardon me, your clients are getting all of this money and we're not making a profit. So Mr. Incredible turns around and goes, so you're telling me we shouldn't be helping them? They shouldn't be getting money. And it's this I hate that I still find it funny. The boss turns around and goes, the law requires that I answer no. And he's just like, okay, because then what's
But
followed is Mr. Incredible saying, so like, we need to help people. And he goes, what about our people?
mm,
What, you need to be helping us. I'm like, no, he doesn't. Hmm.
it's interesting that the boss even uses that, quote, "The law requires I say no."
Mhm.
Um, because it almost takes responsibility off of him. It's
Mhm.
like, "Oh, no, the law says I can't do this, so I can't do this." It's like, well, no,
It's interesting,
you
isn't
can
it?
think differently and change your business practice that may work better, that you still need profit, but you could change your business practices in such a way that works better in their favor if you works better in their favor. To hide behind the law is kind of wimpy. But then again, he's a wimpy bloke in the first place, the way he's created.
From its design,
Yeah,
and not
yeah,
only
yeah.
that, Mr. Incredible spots someone getting mugged in the alley whilst he's talking to him and goes, "That man needs help." What is the boss interested in? He's like, "You're not listening to me, pay attention to me." And he goes, "But he needs help. He's"
Yeah.
what is it? He goes, "He needs help. We should go there and help him." He goes, "Well, let's hope we don't cover him." I'm like,
Yeah.
"That's dark."
Yeah.
The boss doesn't care.
Mm.
He's only focused on his system, his world, his
Mm.
empire, and Mr. Incredible is focused on doing the right thing. And if he is part of that empire and that system, then he's not welcome in it. So, in the end, Mr. Incredible turns around, he snaps, and he throws him through like 8 walls.
Mm, yeah, yeah.
I mean, I don't blame the guy, but he did the right thing. And what happens? He gets in trouble.
Yeah.
They have to wipe the boss's mind. They have to wipe all of the minds of the people that have now associated Mr. Incredible as a superhero because he's got super strength.
Mm.
Mr. Incredible has endangered his family's livelihood and reputation, and they've just moved to a new location to avoid people associating them as being superheroes. So
Yeah.
he again doing the thing that he thinks is the right thing, not thinking it through, has endangered people. And that is
Mm.
that whole society and supers thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Um, it's again that road to hell is paved with, good intentions.
Wow. I
Um
don't think I've heard of that saying
Oh,
before.
okay. Um So there's two ways you could probably look at it. There's one way of doing like doing just irrational good, where you do everything good, but then the consequences of that. I think Mr. Incredible is probably a good example of that, where irrational good, where you do all the good things, but the long term consequences of the good things are a lot worse. But there's a more rational good, I think, where you make good choices, but the effect of those choices after the fact are less impactful. So they're more direct rather than that they're chaotic as such. D&D, for example, is a great would be a good one where like you got chaotic good, where a character could um actually our recent series is probably a really good shout where
Mm.
um where our team go into go and help some animals that are being hunted. But then unfortunately the chaotic response to that is they're then being hunted by military.
Why am I nerding out about you talking about my own story?
um yeah, yeah. But the con you could do I think it's probably wise to say like you can do good things, but make sure those choices are more direct rather than chaotic. I think is probably what I'm going for.
I'll link the episode there. Sorry, I had to. Shameless plug. I'm sorry.
But I'd also like to bring it back to Elastigirl.
I wanted to
In
speak about
Yeah,
Elastigirl
yeah,
too.
yeah. Because in the first Incredibles film, she's sort of put to one side, and I'm not, and it's to be honest, fair enough. The story was more meant for Bob. That's fair. I'm not gonna go.
She still played a good part in The Incredibles.
Yeah, she's
In
still yeah.
I mean, I would like to touch on that
Mm,
briefly, but I mean, carry on.
yeah. I mean, so she is so the annoying thing is she's kind of played off as, oh, she's just a side character. And I kind of disagree with the statement because she's got,
She's very important.
yeah, like she's not the main character, sure, but she still holds a very good foundation in the film. So I kind of think it does disservice to her just to label her a side character.
She loves Bob,
Mm,
and it's the reasons that she loves him is what reminds him of who he always was
yeah.
to her. Um, the bit that I find one of the strongest scenes is honestly one of the not so nice scenes in the film is when Bob comes back after being reckless and
Mm,
doing some vigilante work,
mm,
and she waits up for him and goes, just like,
yeah.
"How was bowling?" Just like, "Yeah, yeah, it was fine." "Is that rubble on your shirt?"
Yeah.
No." She calls him out and goes, "You gotta stop this.
Mm,
We've been told to lay low." But then Bob turns around and goes, "Why should I not? I want to use my powers to do some good. The kids want to use their powers to to get to the future they want to." And Helen turns around and goes, "Why are you making this about you?" He's like, "It's not what the kids." He's like, You're telling me that the kids want that. They don't want that. You want that.
mm,
You want us to be back in the glory days, all superheroes, everything to be blasé. It is not that. It is
mm,
not about you." Um, so she argues with him on that,
yeah.
and I think she's completely valid for that
Oh yeah.
because he is spiraling, and in doing so, he is being more dangerous and more reckless. And she turns
Yeah.
around and goes, "Snap out of it."
Mm,
And then the kids witness the argument.
yeah.
That was when she realizes, just like, "I'm going to bed. I suggest you do the same. You need to rest on it."
I think it's clever how they actually put the kids witness the argument.
Mm.
Only because you don't see it very often these days with a lot of modern stuff, because the family sort of narrative isn't really pushed these days, I don't feel like. Not healthily anyway. Um, but you see the impacts of the argument on the kids, and you get discussion between Elastigirl and Violet and Dash, um, because the kids want a stable foundation at their core, and they get scared that, "Oh, are you gonna have a divorce with dad?" Um, and of course, this isn't on the cards for both Bob and,
Helen.
Helen. Um, but the kids don't see it that way because they just seen their parents have had a argument. Um, but it's minor, but it's a very kind of small insight into how a kid's brain works. And I think it's important just to sort of harp on it a little bit, like in regards to what your family looks like now or what it can be and all that stuff.
The pressure of the member of the family that is earning a lot of income and they've got a full-time career, but that social life is taken away from them. Their
Mm,
dream of who they really want to be as a person is taken away from them because of what society expects of them to do. Like,
yeah.
you must get money in order to afford a living and to pay for your family's livelihood as
Mm,
well. That's not to limit everyone. There must be one person in fact everyone can do that.
yeah.
Like, both the mum and the dad
Yeah.
can be the income, but not have time for the children. And you
Mm,
notice that in the movie
yeah.
because Helen takes a lot of pride in her children,
Mm,
and that is her main source of happiness. These kids are going to be who they want to be, but they're weirdly, the superpowers were represented in a very pubescent way. You know,
yes.
they wanted to become a version of themselves whilst expressing their superpowers, but
Mm,
I mean, they couldn't because they felt like they weren't allowed.
mm,
Um, but then if I go back to that example of Bob, where he's basically stripped down, he he doesn't have the energy in the evenings until he hears what he wants to hear.
mm,
So when Dash misbehaves at school because he's using his powers, Bob's interested. You used your
mm,
powers, awesome. But then Helen turns around and goes, whoa, 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 whoa. He got in trouble.
yeah.
This is a bad thing.
Mm,
And he just goes, but he should be able to use his powers.
yeah. I think it's interesting. Bob in that instance is almost, what is the word? I can't my words aren't kind to me at the minute. Almost starry-eyed in the fact that Dash has used his powers and doesn't see the actual consequences of why he's used them.
Yeah.
Um, Whereas Helen is a lot more switched on and kinda goes, "Well, he used them to do a bad thing. We should be questioning this," rather than Bob's going, "The powers, they're cool. What?" Yeah.
It is. He is a very reckless character
Mm,
until he realizes what that recklessness does.
mm,
He falls the greatest when he realizes that his good intentions got his family killed, quote unquote.
yeah.
But then he is lifted and raised again when he realizes that that's not the case, and they came all that way to save him because they love him, but they don't love Mr. Incredible. They love Bob Parr. They love their dad, and Helen loves Bob, not Mr.
Mm,
Incredible. When the mask pulls away, finally, when they all fight together and Mr. Incredible says, "Get out the way, I will do this, I will fight them by myself," Helen goes, "Absolutely not. We're in this together," because he
mm,
turns around and goes, "I can't lose you guys.
mm.
I'm not strong enough."
Yeah,
Peak writing.
yeah.
The one with the superhuman strength says he's not strong enough if he loses his family, realizing what the stakes truly are.
Mm.
Like, wow.
Yeah.
Brad Bird killed it with that script. And I hate to say it, I don't like Incredibles 2.
No, I didn't
I hate to say it.
doesn't hit the same way.
It
Mhm.
doesn't. It's a safe sequel. The main focus of that movie was on Jack getting his powers. Haha, funny. Dad look after his baby.
Mm.
Um, and To be fair, we have Elastigirl in the main character spotlight in that movie.
Yeah, I just don't know. It's sort of I don't. It's, the thing that annoys me is that in the first film, Alaska has some serious weight behind every line that she had. Yeah, she was the main character, but she had some weight at every line that she had. But
Hmm.
because she was the main character, everyone got annoyed. So it's like, oh, we'll do a sequel and we'll put Elastigirl as the main character. But
What I didn't like was the whole anti-superhero lore in the first movie that was so forced on society. In the second film, within the first 5 minutes,
yeah,
is it's not forgotten about because the idea is there's a businessman who wants to work with the Incredibles
mm,
to remove the law, which is good. It's a cool concept. But straight away, like, hang on a minute. If we're trying to remove the law, it feels like there's less weight on the law. It feels like it's just an obstacle. It's a law. It's
mm.
you can't do this without it being difficult.
I'm going to use a really weird concept, so I apologize in advance because it's going to be like really out there. But I want to kind of get down to it a little bit.
Okay.
Um, we'll touch on it more later on in the year, so I'm going to be really out there. It's almost like wild camping, and what I mean by that is it's not legal in the UK, and you don't see a lot of tents. But when you go out camping, the experience is a lot nicer.
Right.
Yeah, in Scotland, it's legal, and you see tents all around, and it kind of dilutes the landscape. You don't see Scotland for what it is sometimes because there's tents everywhere. I think bringing it back to The Incredibles and like an anti-super and law and anti-superhero sort of movements to a degree, and probably a little bit on My Hero Academia as well, just a slight nod in regards to um, because being a superhero is illegal when it's done. When a heroic deed is done, the weight of that deed seems to hold more worth rather than if you look at somewhere like The Boys or Invincible, where superheroes are somewhat normalized. The deed is somewhat diluted. It doesn't hold as much weight. Um, but it also kind of holds someone to account in regards to this is kind of a grey area thing to do something good. So what decisions shall I make before I make this decision?
When you are in a position of power, it is not the power that makes you the better person. It is the processes that you have to carefully think through in order to execute a power that best benefit the people around you.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the smartest things I've ever said.
Yeah.
God damn. This is almost a perfect, ironically, when
Mm,
speaking about The Incredibles 2, this is a perfect sequel to episode 32 of Me Time, when we've got people with power. You have to give it to the right person, and now when the right person has it, how do you use that power?
mm,
What are the processes behind it? Because you could be reckless and do the right thing. You could say, I've got super strength, so I am going to use Mr. Incredible as an example. I've got
mm.
super strength, so I'm going to save people's lives. Hooray. Consider the implications behind that first. You've got a
Yeah.
family at home that love you and don't want you getting hurt, and they want you to remain their dad.
Mm,
Um, when you go out and do the right thing, there is always going to be someone that pushes back. Your actions will have consequences. I'm not saying don't follow your dreams. That's
mm.
not what I'm saying at all. You've just got to be with with great power comes great responsibility.
It's ti
Oh,
it's timeless. If it works, it works.
it is one of the most defining superhero quotes for a reason.
Yeah.
If you have power, you've got to understand the duties that come behind that.
Mm,
Yes, sacrifice is normal for a job like that, but also don't tarnish the person you are because you feel you need to do the thing that benefits anyone around you when you should be doing it to benefit you and the people that you love.
mm,
It is so difficult because I understand people with power and larger leaders, maybe in superhero stories, for example, have to make these difficult decisions and get their hands dirty.
mm,
That's so tough. You know, they want to do the right thing, but
mm,
sometimes you can't.
mm.
We go back to The Incredibles. Bob wanted to do the right thing and protect Buddy, but it wasn't the right thing because in doing so, in not talking to him and not thinking these through and being so blasé with his powers and his identity as Mr. Incredible, he slipped through his fingers and became the biggest threat of the modern world
Mm.
ahead of the glory days, and that was indirectly Mr. Incredible's fault.
Yeah.
So it's tough, which is why we're talking about this sort of
Mhm.
stuff because it is a very interesting topic.
Mm.
And I feel to sort of conclude it, to sort of round it up, is you've got the power and you know how to use it. It's after that, it's not how you present not how you present yourself. It's what it's who you help
Yeah.
because there are movies that in the next episode I'd like to talk about that you can always feel like you're doing the right thing and helping the people closest to you and the people that you feel as though deserve your help. And you can be as selfless as possible, but there will still be people turning around that will label you as a bad person.
Mm.
And that is the trouble of a world of difference, which is good because difference makes us human. But it's very
Yeah.
tough to nail down to one sentence.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, good decisions always come with consequences. There's even doing a good thing will always have a consequence somewhere.
Yeah.
It's just knowing if that consequence is worth it kind of thing. Um, yeah.
I think this is a good place to sort of conclude if you're happy with that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So we spoke about The Incredibles. I mean, for the entire episode, basically.
Yeah.
And I do think it is. If you haven't seen The Incredibles, we've spoiled it to shit. So we do apologize about that.
It's an old film
It's been
now.
out since 2004, 5, something like that.
Yeah.
Obviously. So yeah, that's on you guys. But we haven't spoiled The Incredibles 2, so you can watch that. I would
Yeah.
wholeheartedly recommend it. It's a very, very good case study for what the world is like with superpowers and people that feel as though that they are above the system will chew them up anyway. So you still have to be careful and not be reckless.
Mm.
Remember who you are and don't let the small things slip through your fingers.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so, and I do want to sort of like clarify that what we said on aggression earlier in the episode, it is important that you don't keep that pent up
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's when
That's what you
you
get, yeah.
turn into a worse version of yourself.
Yeah,
I did, but it crossed my mind before we were about to conclude. It was just like I have to shed some light on that a little bit
no,
more.
no, that's
Yeah.
fair. No, no, yeah, no, pent-up aggression will always end up almost being like a walking bomb, a walking time bomb.
Hmm.
There's no you can't really get out of it. Like you gotta find a way. You gotta find some way to put it. Um, in regards to our last episode, self-defense.
That's it, episode 31, that was 2 episodes ago, Elliot.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've lost track.
I knew you were going to say, in terms for myself, it would be Krav Maga.
Yes. And then there's other places to go as well. Even just like the gym as well. If you're not even like somewhere just to put that sort of just rage somewhere, and just so it doesn't impact the world outside.
Because aggression consumes you, and you see with Bob, it will make your life a living hell.
Mm.
You'll be part of a system. The system will always be the system. The system won't be broken because then there's disorder and chaos, but you can find loopholes in the system for you to be you. You can't be that passenger on the train that sticks to the same train tracks the whole time. It's good to take different routes that goes along the same path. Maybe you make your own path. For me, it's exercise is a great way, and I've found a lot of peace with myself lately. So I'm actually at the stage where I can be very open and talk how I feel instead of penting up anger and like differences with people around me. I just it comes across in the way of just like, I hate you. That's not how I mean it at all. Just like, I mean, what just happened wasn't exactly a nice thing, so let's talk about this. Talking is difficult, but it, in the grand scheme of things, is a very, very useful tool for you to get to the bottom of situations.
Yeah.
Whereas some people decide to use their actions, not words, to deal with aggression, which is really not the best situation sometimes.
Need both. Need both.
Yes, and to the actions, not words, I would recommend you watch episode 31 of Me Time, where we talk about that in extensive detail. Oh my gosh, episode 31 is linked to Society versus Supers so much better than we thought it would.
Nope. Yep. This was not planned. Oh well.
It's not. Dude, let's get John back for episode 34. But yeah, and we will conclude that, I think, now that we've had that little disclaimer on earlier in the episode. So same time next week, 7 o'clock on YouTube and Spotify, it will be episode 34, which will conclude Society versus Supers. And after that, you can expect another Community Spirit episode. So until then, be safe, look after yourselves, and remember, there's always time for me time.
Have a good week. See you soon.
Take care, guys. Hey guys, thanks for watching Me Time. And if you haven't already,
subscribe, like, and share if you like the content.
Woo!